A lot of the folks that got sent home to work during the quarantine, companies are trying to get them to come back in the office, and them folks are saying nah. And I tell you what, I 100% support them. I personally have been 100% work from home since 2014, and I've all but vowed never to go back. Everyone is different, but for me, corporate office life is absolutely not my jam. I mean, there are pros and cons to both, but for me personally, there are way more pros to working from home than there are in a traditional office. And one important benefit about working from home is being able to control your environment. You can control who comes in. You can control what you can and cannot have in there. You can really make it your own. And quite frankly, when you are a remote worker, that's super important. Whether you have a self-contained separate room or a corner of a room, it's really important to have a place that you like to be in, because you're going to be in there a lot. And really, when you're comfortable, your space is ergonomic, it's inviting, you tend to be more productive. And I can speak from experience, even if you don't really like or love what it is you're doing, it makes it a lot more palatable to do if you can at least do it, in your own space, your own way. So this is actually my third home office, and I've really been able to do some things to it that I really love. And it's become an oasis, especially now that I am divorced from corporate life. My office has really become my happy place. I really love it a lot. So, being a veteran remote worker, I have come to purchase quite a few things over the years to make my space my own, and I'm going to share those with you today, or at least a few of them. And I realized in trying to list out the things, so much of my stuff has come from Amazon. So most of what I talk about, if not all of it, will be the Amazon edition. And I'll put some links down below in the description bar if you want to check them out on your own. A handful, maybe one or two of these items I did receive for free from some companies in exchange for my honest review. I'm just gonna throw that out there so the Federal Trade Commission doesn't get me. But I did receive a couple of items, but they wouldn't have made this video if I didn't enjoy them. And if there are any pros and cons to each item, I'll be sharing those too, so you can get the real skinny. First things first, you need a desk. You gotta have something to put your stuff on, right? In my case, for this office, I chose the Singa reversible desk. It's an L-shaped desk that is 60 inches wide by 23 inches deep on the longest side. And I chose this desk first to make the most of the space that I have, because it's kind of laid out weird, but also to make sure that I had a nice amount of storage. I didn't have very much storage in this office when I first moved in, so I needed a convenient place to put all my pens, papers, knickknacks, planners, etc., and also be able to keep my desk somewhat clear of permanent things. Let's be real, there's always stuff on my desk because I work here. I'm always doing something. But because I'm always doing something, looking at a planner, writing in a notebook, I needed a desk that was big enough that I could put a couple things like my computer monitor and my keyboard and mouse and stuff on it, and it not eat up the entire expanse of the desk. So this desk, it is L-shaped, and underneath the L, which is reversible, you can put it on either side of you, I have lots of shelving. There is a long expanse of open shelving that is adjustable, and then at the very end of the L is another set of adjustable shelving where you can keep whatever you want to. I keep my planners there and my Bible and notebooks and things like that. On the opposite side of your L, underneath the width of the desk, is more storage. It's another set of drawers, 2 small drawers, and then a bottom drawer that is actually for hanging file folders. I've had this desk now almost 4 years, and yeah, it's a little beat up in some places where like the white is coming off of it, but for that to be all that's wrong, it's incredibly durable. It's very heavy. I don't look forward to moving this eventually, and it has really served me well. One note about this desk actually came in, it came with silver hardware. So the hardware you see on my drawers, I actually ordered from Amazon and replaced it because I wanted a white and gold type theme going in my office. So that is an option. And this desk comes in multiple colors. One thing I will note, for whatever reason, the price of this specific named desk keeps fluctuating on Amazon. So I did some research, and I believe the Monarch desk is the same for a lesser price. I'll leave the link below and leave you to look at that for yourself if it interests you, but that's just a tip, some free game. Second up, if you got a desk, you gotta have a chair. And y'all, especially as you start to age just a little bit, a good chair or a bad chair will make or break you when you're sitting in it all day. I had a task chair, a regular like little cheap short office chair that I had been using for years, and eventually my back started yelling at me for it. And so I had to find something a little bit more ergonomical that would allow me to be the correct distance from my monitor, to have my hands in the correct place for my keyboard and my feet in the right position, and it made a ton of difference. I went with the Flash Furniture leather soft chair, which is the one that I am sitting in. It comes in 9 different colorways. I really had my heart set on a white chair, or a white and gold chair specifically, and this is the one that fit the bill. I got the high back option to help support my back. This chair does have arms on it, which is great. And y'all, I've enjoyed this chair. It's a little beat up now from being adjusted and sliding against different things, but it's a 4-year-old chair. I just replaced the gas cylinder in it yesterday. If you don't know what that is, office chairs, you can let them up and you can let them down. And there's a device inside the bottom of it that it's a pneumatic device that uses air to allow you to do the up and down motion. And with a lot of office chairs, over time and over lots and lots of use, you'll sit in them one day and you'll realize that you are steadily sinking, and it'll get worse over time. Don't throw your chair away. Just get you a gas cylinder. I got one from Amazon, and with a little elbow grease, you can replace your cylinder and your chair will be like new. So that's another tip. But I've had this chair for 4 years. It's very comfortable. The texture of it is soft and leather-like. And it wasn't terribly expensive when I bought it either. I think it was around $150. I'll link it below and you can check for yourself, but I really love this chair and I can highly recommend it. So speaking of ergonomics, I got my desk, I got my chair. I mentioned wanting my monitor to be in the right position because I want to prevent eye and neck and shoulder strain over time. So I bought the Tenomar acrylic monitor stand. I chose this particular stand not just because it looks pretty. It is acrylic and it kind of suits the aesthetic of my office, but I bought it to save space and add more storage. Going back to what I was saying about wanting to maximize the space on my desk and keep it as clear as possible, having this particular set that has a couple of shelves, so to speak, really came in handy. I used to have a giant preamp, an audio interface sitting on my desk taking up space, and I was able to slide it underneath. And now that I don't have that, I can store my keyboard and my mouse as well as my phone charger and things like that underneath when I'm not using them, so that I can have my desk clear and out of the way. My stand, from what I have found, it's got a 27-inch iMac sitting on it right now, like an older model, and it's very stable. And the acrylic that it's made out of is pretty thick, so I don't have to really worry about it bowing under pressure or cracking. So I really am enjoying that so far. And if I'm not mistaken, it comes in a couple of different sizes. I got the one that is 16 inches wide, 8 inches deep, and 5.5 inches tall. The only thing I would warn you against or warn you about is that the openings underneath this particular monitor stand are about 2.5 inches a piece. So if you want to store something thicker than that, just keep that in mind. But otherwise, it's great for notebooks, small books, again, keyboard, mouse, that kind of thing, to just keep everything neat and tidy. Spinning around to the space behind me, my printer stand, the Take It printer stand. Now, as you can see, I'm not storing a printer on it right now, but you can. That's what it's designed for. It's about 29.5 inches tall, 15.7 inches wide, and 11.5 inches deep. So it's a decent size. I like that you can use it in multiple configurations. You can use it whole with the casters on it like I have, or you can take the casters off, make it stationary, or you can separate the top and the bottom and use them separately. So this stand, again, it suits the aesthetic of my office. I can store quite a few different things on it because the openings are a nice, decent size. It's stable, it's sturdy, and I love the fact that there are casters. So if I needed to take that and roll it around or move it, it's easily moved. And on top of said printer stand is the Decorani acrylic book holder. So y'all know, if you've been watching this channel a while, that I love planners, and I actually personally compartmentalize my life into a few different ones, but my catch-all is my main planner that helps me govern my life accordingly. And I really have been wanting to store that planner out in the open to make sure that I can easily look at it every day because it's big and it's kind of heavy. So this acrylic book holder is allowing me to do that in kind of a stylish fashion. And it actually comes in 4 different colors, and most of them are square. There's clear, there's white, there's black, and then there is a blue one that is round if that suits your fancy. And you could use that for books, recipes. If you're decorating and you like coffee table books, you could use it for something like that. But it's a really sleek, modern, decorative element that has really served a great function for me. And it literally took me, I timed it, probably 30 seconds to put together. Like, it was super easy. For what it's worth too, the monitor stand that it's sitting on took me roughly 10 minutes to put together. So you get a lot of bang in that area as well. Next thing I want to show you is actually underneath my desk, the Sysmax Litum drawer system. It's a 12 drawer pull-out system that you can use to store a variety of small items. It's 16 by 2 inches wide, 9 by 2 inches deep, and 12 by 7 inches tall. So it's a reasonable size unit. It's excellent for art supplies. That's what I use it for. I store ink pads, paint brushes, extra pens, etc., etc. It has labels that you can put in slots on each drawer. And also each drawer has slots that you can place dividers in, and they supply you with dividers that you can use within these drawers. And so it really just helps me to have more of that stuff handy underneath my desk, but not floating around somewhere where I can't see it and it's disorganized. I will also note that an alternative to this particular system is the Arteza drawer unit. I believe it's an exact dupe, so you can check those out. But if you are crafty, or even if you have lots of hair supplies or makeup or any type of something that is small and has the ability to get out of hand, this drawer system is really handy. It's also fairly sturdy. I've never felt like I was gonna knock it over or break it somehow or anything like that. So Sysmax or Arteza are my recommendations there. Number 6 is the Tozo wireless phone charger. I have this one sitting on top of my monitor stand to be able to charge my phone. There's only so many outlets in the world, and as you can see, having looked at my desk, I have lots and lots of cables for various things. Stuff plugged in my computer, stuff that goes with my cameras and my lights and whatever. I really didn't want to have one more cord floating around, and I didn't want to have one more big thing cluttering my desk. So this wireless charger was sleek and slim, and it fit the bill. And this particular variety comes in 14 different colors, so you're sure to find something that looks and feels great for your office. So that's been 7 of my most useful or handy things that I use in my office on a regular basis. I'll more than likely be doing a part 2 to this video because I keep thinking of little things that I'm like, oh yeah, I love that and that and that I use on a daily basis. So drop down in the comments and let me know something that you love to have with you while you work. I am so appreciative that you decided to stop by. YouTube should be recommending something else on my channel for you to watch if you want to hang out a little while longer. But until next time, do what you love what you do, and keep at it. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.